Look, let's move on to Div 3, and look, this was a game that I actually went out to, just not only because I love the game, but my wife happened to be playing lacrosse next door, and it was Old Ignies versus Salisbury West. We might bring the footage up now if that's entirely possible. We sort of were expecting this to be a really tight game. We thought that maybe the Old Ignies have had a bit of I guess a capability of, they've been described as being cute, bordering on wayward with their use of the ball. They've had Kieran Moran up forward, they've had Big Danny Rolfe, Carlo Calabresi leading the rucks. Very important game for the club because it was Cliff Fowler, the great man, wearing 211. Actually, it'd be interesting to see whether the Iggies, Greenie, I don't know whether you've had an inside word on this, will retire the 211 Guernsey. But this was a rare highlight for Salisbury. Curtis getting up over the top. He's a bloke that we brought to your attention last week at Railways Oval. And the best thing about this, once he was put in slow motion and then sped up again, he actually played on. That's the ability to land on his feet and then sort of keep going. But we thought this might be a game where Salisbury West might shut them down, as we have a boundary umpire doing calisthenics in the background. But in the end, Old Iggies just completely and utterly ran over the top of them. And look, I hate to say it, because we want to be really positive about Salisbury West after what happened against PNU, and there's going to be some Salisbury West supporters sitting back in their lounge room, either you know, basically saying, "Oh, here we go again." But it didn't get to the grand final of a couple of years ago. I will quite rightly say that. But the concern for Fabian Francis was that when Old Iggies got about 5 or 6 goals up, because Salisbury West actually kicked 6-17 for the afternoon, that basically they just took their focus off the football just a little bit and were a little bit clumsy in their tackles. There were a lot of 50-metre penalties. We see Big Dane Rolfe, Pope Dane Rolfe, coming over the top. And that would be a bit of a concern for Salisbury West, would it not, Greenie?
Certainly would be, without a doubt. I think Robo's got them moving very well at the moment. And Salisbury West worries me that they're just struggling. They're up and down, but Robo's got them moving extremely well, and I think they'll be around come final time. Because
over the last couple of years, Mudgee being a full forward, they've lost Andrew Ross, who's gone over to Salisbury North, and they've also lost Luke Robinson, a man who's gone over to North Haven. Ricky Woodrow's gone over to North Haven. I think one other. Daniel Hickey, a bloke who was sort of the secondary target when Andrew Ross kicked 99 goals a couple of years ago, is seemingly their main target now, maybe only kicking 2 or 3 a week. But I guess the pleasing thing, probably from an association's point of view, Greenie, is that after the game, Fabian Francis didn't put up with anything, just dragged his side over before they went under the big concrete steps, just had a quiet word with them, and obviously they're going to be fired up and going to be much more disciplined this week, so when they take on Walkerville, I believe.
I think Fabian Francis has done extremely well out there. He's got a discipline in the club, and they respect him.
And this is an interesting word. This is a Barry Oates initiative. I don't know if everybody's picked up on this, but we will, of course, know about the green shirts in Amateur League. Chatting to Barry Oates, who was just hiding behind a tree, text messaging umpires saying you made 3 mistakes, you made 4 mistakes. Even the goal umpires are actually wearing the green shirt. There's the great man, Cliffy Fowler, 272 games for Iggies, 148 odd for Wollonga, going off for the first time, and then the score in the background, 2012 to 6-17. Absolutely fantastic.
Oates should be taken to task. He's copying the green room.
Yes.
I think we should take him to task over that.